Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again. Real Kens TV in the house like kitchen sinks. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Now, with no further ado, let's get into this afternoon's video, if you will. 2:38 Wednesday afternoon, and I was sitting here reflecting, and I was thinking back. I was watching that video last night over at Hustler Spirit 502, featuring Fleece Johnson and Big Lee. If you're not familiar, go check them out. And Fleece was telling a story about some of his prison experiences. Now, in this particular story, he was talking about how an individual tried to take his manhood when he was in prison, and he was having no parts of it. Now, a lot of times, and I'm guilty of it just as well. Initially, when I started my channel last year, about 9 months ago, I did several stories on Fleece Johnson, and I just didn't believe everything that he was saying. Not to say that he was a liar, I just thought that he was exaggerating a little bit. But as time has gone on, I've done my research. I've talked to several people that were incarcerated with him, and everybody says the exact same thing. Man, that guy was the real deal. He was not to be played with. He was not to be fooled with. You all see him now on the internet, and he's a little older, and he's, a lot more laid back, reserved. He's nicer. But back then, this guy, everything he says he did, he did. And it made me realize, like, wow, I just prejudged this guy. I thought some of it was for a little entertainment, but nah. This guy is really, really, according to the people that I've spoken to, this guy is really, really, was really the real deal, and probably still is. Now, he tells a story about how when he entered prison, at a young age, he was like 15, 16 years old when they sent him to prison. I don't even know how they get away with doing that. But nevertheless, they do what they want to do. So he goes in with a 12-year sentence. He enters prison, in a 12-year sentence or what have you. And at some point, I don't remember how many years it was after he, was actually in the prison system. Maybe 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. He's at Eddyville State Penitentiary. Eddyville was the most notorious prison in Kentucky. Home of death row. That's where you didn't want to go, Eddyville. Now, they say a lot of check-ins and PCs there. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. I've never been to Eddyville. But I know back in the 80s and 90s when Fleece was serving time, it wasn't that then. Eddyville, man, it went down, and it went down daily from what I hear. And, Fleece was there, and they put him in a cell because at the time they had 2-man cells. So they put him in a cell with an outright killer / gorilla / monster / all of the above. Now, I don't understand why administration would even get away with that, putting this young fella in with a guy of this magnitude, of this stature, and you know what his MO is. You know what he does. They put Fleece in the cell. It doesn't take long. The guy's trying to talk to him. He's offering him stuff, And Fleece was a young guy. I don't know if he accepted it or if he didn't accept it. But a lot of times, man, see, booty bandits in prison, they not always as they appear in our minds. We're thinking, introduce me to your friend, Craig. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's not always what it is in prison. Sometimes, they hit you with the smoothness. You see what I'm saying? Hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, man, my name is such and such, man. I understand how it is when you first, come to prison. I run a store here, so anything you need, man, I can help you out, man. I got some noodles. I got some honey buns. I got chips. I got chili. I got sodas. Anything you need, man. When your money, arrives, just hit me back. You young, you green, you don't really know, so you like, man, this guy's cool, man. You see what I'm saying? This guy, he offered me this, man, and it's always a motive. There's always a motive in prison. And typically, it's always a motive in life. Very, very few people is going to give you something for nothing in return. Very few people. And especially in prison. So Fleece goes on to tell the story, and he's in the cell, and, you know, the guy's offering him stuff or what have you. Because when you first arrive to prison, you don't have any money, typically. Now, back then, you really didn't have any money, because once you arrive there, you have to wait for your money order to come. No telling how long it's going to take. You know, it arrives through the mail, then you got to wait on your store day. Now it's different. 10 minutes, your money's there. They can wire it to you straight off the card, and you can go to the store almost every day in prison, Monday through Friday. So it's different, but this is like probably, at this point, I want to say it was probably in the early 80s. So Fleece is in there with this guy, and he's noticing, you know, this guy, man, he's on to something. Now, when I say he's on to something, he's on to me. Like, Fleece picked up the game. He recognized it. So as time went on, the guy started being, you know, more inquisitive, more, I guess, straightforward with Fleece. And he's telling him, like, listen, man, you know, I've been locked up X amount of years. I'm getting tired of looking at these magazines. I'm getting tired of, you know, pleasing myself. Man, you looking real good. So, you know, what's it gonna be? Fleece is like, what? What's it gonna be? Bro, I don't swing that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to do my time, and that's it. So, you know, they kind of went back and forth or what have you. Now, some of this story I'm paraphrasing. So if y'all want to hear the actual story, go to Hustle Spirit 502, featuring Fleece Johnson and Big Lee. You see what I'm saying? But it's accurate. Everything that I'm saying is accurate as far as what Fleece said. So he goes to chow hall one day. You know, he's out on the yard with his partners or whatever. And he's he's like, hey, man, this dude they got me in the cell with, man, this dude is crazy, man. You know what I'm saying, dog? This dude is like, you got to understand, if you've never been to prison, man, there's gorillas in prison. You know, Damon on Friday, Debo on Friday, the original Friday. These dudes are 6'3", 6'4", chiseled, 240, 230, straight muscle, man. You got a lot of guys in prison walking around like that. Been locked up 10, 12 years, 8 years, 15 years. Got locked up at a young age, 17, 18. Excuse me. So they're not that old. And these dudes are physical specimens, pause, double pause. You know, and they're walking around like, you know, they stomping through the yard. No shirt on, shorts, if it's summertime. And, well, evidently it's summertime, because they wouldn't be walking around with no shirt on if it wasn't summertime. Duh. But nevertheless, the black boots on with sunglasses on. Big black. Just walking through the yard, man, and you know, and you seeing that, and you like, man. Now just imagine you in a cell with this individual. You are in a cell, a small cell, to where it's two beds, one on the bottom, one on top, bunk beds, a desk, and a toilet, and that's it. The cell will be small for one person, but they were putting two people in the cell because prison is a business, so they want to put as many people, or accommodate as many people, if you will, as they can. Fleece is telling his partners, you know, everything that's been going on in the cell as far as dude getting at him and dude making these seemingly verbal threats. So somebody gives him a knife. They give him a knife, a homemade, you know, prison knife. So Fleece takes the knife and he keeps that knife on him. Now in prison, a lot of times we watch these shows and we watch these documentaries. People ain't just walking around with knives in prison. Don't get me wrong, some people do. But oftentimes when you have a knife, it's hidden in the ground somewhere on the yard. That's why they walk around with metal detectors, because the officers are trying to get all the weapons off the yard as they possibly can. That'll never happen. It's too many inmates, and there's too many places to hide the knives. And if you find this one, guess what? We're just gonna make another one. So you may not necessarily have your knife with you, but you're gonna have it close by. So if anything jumps off, you can go get your knife and, you know, go to war. Just how it is. Now, Fleece gets the knife and he comes back into the cell. And this particular night, man, the dude, I guess he felt as though this is the night, Fleece. You know, he's trying to take Fleece at night. Fleece is telling him once again, listen, man, I'm not with that. I'm here to do my time. Are you going to give it to me? And again, I'm paraphrasing, but this is what Fleece is saying. You going to give it to me or I'm going to take it. The easy way, the hard way, but it's going down. Fleece is like, look, man, I understand, man. But he said next thing he knows, the dude takes his fist. He said a big old fist, man. You ever seen somebody that just got huge hands? Boom, hits the wall. Whole arm goes through the wall. White, powdery stuff just flying all over the place after he hit the wall. Fleece is like, man, I was scared to death, man. This dude just knocked a hole in this wall. This is not like this is just a drywall. This is concrete walls. What Fleece later found out was that, no, before I even tell that part of the story, I'm going to tell this part of the story. So let me rewind. Guy knocks a hole in the wall. Bow! Half his arm is through the wall. So Fleece sees that. It's white stuff flying in the air, dust, and he's like, man, this guy just knocked a hole in this wall. This is not a drywall. This is concrete walls. So now Fleece in his mind is like, man, I'm about to have to just give it up, man. What am I going to do? We in a little bitty cell. I can't call for the guard. What am I going to do? I can't whoop this dude. This dude is gorilla status. I'm just a, little guy. Like I said, he ain't been in the prison system that long. So, dude, runs up on him, grabs him. Yeah, you going to give it to me or whatever. So Fleece is just like, I had it made up in my mind. I'm going to just go on and give him what he wants, man. Because there's nothing I can do to defend myself. He said, but my mind was so gone, I forgot that I had this knife. He said, I feel the knife poking me kind of in the side. In a sense saying, man, you forget about me? You forget about me over here? So he said the guy was, moving in on him. Like I said, he already had him. He was trying to take him. I would imagine he was going to turn him around and go for what he knows. Fleece said, I grabbed that knife. He said, I cut that man from here to here. Boom! Cut him. Said he just kept on and just kept stabbing him. Dude got to running. Fleece said he just kept stabbing him. The dude's yelling, guards, guards, guards. See, at Eddyville, I know back then, I don't know how they are now, and I'd imagine it's still the same. They got the bars. You're not in a cell as far. You're in a cell, but there's not a door. There's bars, like you see on TV. So, it's a lot easier for the officers to get to you, or hear you, rather. So, they take their sweet little time, and I would imagine they come running down. Fleece is just stabbing the dude. And they come in. Fleece backs up in the corner. He got the knife. He says blood everywhere in the cell. Blood everywhere. And the guy, they take him out. And then they tell Fleece drop the knife. He drops the knife. He complies, puts his hands behind his back, and they take him to the Hope. What's ironic is they didn't even give Fleece an outside charge for this because they knew that this guy liked to try to take people's manhood. That was his MO. So it makes me wonder, actually it doesn't make me wonder, but one would wonder why would they put this young boy in a cell with this maniac? Because they don't care. You see what I'm saying? They don't care. And then Eddyville, like I said, was the most notorious prison at the time in the 80s. Really, really racist. Really, really racist. So they not really caring. Now the dude that he was in the cell with was a black guy. But I'm just saying, they're not really caring about what happens to the black dudes or whatever. It's just what it was. So Fleece is in the hole or what have you, and they don't give him an outside charge. He just stays in the hole, and then eventually they let him out. Fleece said, man, I don't know if this guy died. I don't know what happened to him. I ain't never seen him again. Now keep in mind, Fleece did 40 years. Typically in the prison system, you're going to run across an individual again. But something of that magnitude, as far as the violence that happened with that, even if the dude did survive, they're not going to put you back on the same yard together. But, usually you'll hear something like, yeah, man, I heard dude's at this prison or he's at that prison, or Fleece said I never heard anything else again. Fleece went on to later find out that this guy had an intimidation tactic that he used, to say the least. Basically, it was a hole already in that wall. So he would seal the hole up, put baby powder in it. So that's where all the white dust flew out when he hit it. He would cover the hole up with like a piece of paper and then paint over top of it. Because it's real easy to get some paint. You get somebody in the property room. Well, not the property room, but the maintenance room or something like that. Hey, man, I need to, I need some paint or whatever. So he painted over the paper so it looked just like a regular part of the wall. All along, it was just paper Behind the paper, it was already a hole, and he had put some, I forgot exactly what Fleece said he put inside, some sort of soft insulation, and he put that baby powder in there. So when he hit it, it made it like, this guy really knocked a hole through the wall. No, he put his hand through some paper. So one would understand like how Fleece would be scared to death. You know, we all talk about, oh, if it was me, I would have did this. If it was me, I would have did that. Man, if it was your soft ass, you wouldn't did nothing. Respectfully. So Fleece, you know, he went and got that thing. He went and got that knife. I don't advocate violence, but at the same time, when somebody's trying to take your manhood, man, whatever happens to you, happens to you. I firmly stand on that, and I firmly believe that. So Fleece did what he had to do, and he was able to protect himself in that situation, because if he didn't have that knife, it's going to happen. And if it happens once, it's going to happen twice. If it happens twice, it's going to happen, and it's going to continuously happen. In the cell with this maniac, man. Like I said, them cells are very, very small. You can't run. You can't really get away. I don't think Fleece could probably whoop the dude. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just a story that Fleece told, and I was intrigued by the story, and I definitely believe the story because, like I said, everybody that I've spoken to say Fleece was definitely the real deal. He was not anyone that you wanted to play with. And they all say what he said. He didn't even run with nobody. He ran by himself. He had a couple partners that was from home or what have you, but he didn't run with no cliques, no gangs, no nothing. Everything he did, he was doing. If you owed him something, and you in the hole, you do a slick check-in. Slick check-in, for y'all never been to prison, it's like, okay, I owe this, this, and this. I can't pay it, so I go to the administration. Man, I'm scared for my life, man. Okay, they put you in the hole. You might sit in the hole until you might sit there in the hole, protective custody the entire time, or you might get transferred. Fleece is going in the hole to get his. He's going to do something to get put in the hole, or he's going to go tell the people he needs to go in protective custody, and he's going to go find that individual that owes him, and he's going to get his. The man turned a 12-year sentence into 40. That should tell you something. And I want to commend and send a shout out to Fleece Johnson and Big Lee, because Fleece has definitely turned his life around. He's out here in society. He's productive, it seems. And Big Lee, he extended an olive branch. He extended a hand to him. Come on, bro. Despite what I've heard, despite what everybody says about you, man, I'm going to help you out. Fleece talks about all the jobs he's lost because he's a very skilled, you know, he can work on houses and things of that nature. And when people would find out exactly who he was, he would get fired. So Big Lee didn't judge him. I'm sure that they had some sort of arrangements and discrepancies in the beginning, but, you know, they started this YouTube channel, Hustle Spirit 502, and it's becoming very, very successful. It's just shy of 50,000 subscribers, I believe, and Fleece Johnson's working on a book. He got a couple endorsement deals that's in the works. So, man, I'm proud of the guy, man, because he easily could have came out here and did what so many other people do. It's not working out. It's not working out initially. Guess what? I'm going to go back to doing what I used to do, and you end right back up in prison. So, again, salute, shout out. Fleece Johnson is definitely the real deal as far as all the things that he say is documented. He don't say document, he say documented. You know what I mean? And just a little humor for you. But, yeah, definitely the real deal. And y'all go check them out, man. Once again, 502 Hustler Spirit, man. Featuring Fleece Johnson and Big Lee. Y'all share my video, man. Y'all make sure y'all share this video because people need to hear this. People definitely need to hear these Fleece Johnson stories. Now, this is just a reaction video in regard to his video. But people, you know, these youngsters out here and the people that's maybe not even young, but it's in the streets or thinking about being in the streets or 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Guess what? They need to hear these penitentiary stories. Oftentimes people say, man, Fleece, man, his stories, they just a little bit too raw for me. But guess what? He wouldn't be genuine if he wasn't telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth. The things that he went through, the things that he endured, the things that he did. I don't agree with the sexual aspect of it, but at the same time, he's being truthful about it. He's being truthful, and you know, what more could you ask for? So these youngsters need to hear this is what it is in prison. You think that you so tough, you think there ain't no guns in prison, man. You got knives. Yeah, they got knives in prison, but ain't no guns in prison. So yeah, you think you hard while you out here on these streets, because it's easy to shoot somebody. But once you get to that joint, and you never know what individual you're going to run across, whose family you did something to. You never know. Stay out here with your family, stay out here with your kids, stay out here with your mother, stay out here with your father, grandparents, everybody. And just do the right thing, man. You ain't got to be out here in these streets. Who you proving something to? You're going to die, you're going to go to penitentiary. Point blank. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you liked the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action, this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. I don't know what's going on with my videos. People are saying they're not receiving notifications. Like Real Kens, I don't know what's going on, man. You know, I hit the post notification. I don't know. I think you have to hit the all so that anytime. I don't know exactly how it works. Only thing I can do is just stay on the grind, continue to upload, and, you know, knowing that eventually the world will catch on. But y'all share my videos, because as many people as possible need to hear these type of stories, man. It's Fleece Johnson stories, man. Let's keep these youngsters out here and studying the prison system, man. Real Kens TV.